guys. Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old, welcome new. It's been a bit cold for the past few days. It was cold yesterday, it was cold today. Alexa, what's the time please?
It's 6:51 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Thursday the 28th of April.
And Alexa, the weather. Alexa, the weather. Alexa, what's the weather like in Rochester?
Right now in Rochester, it's 6 degrees Celsius with mostly sunny skies. Today's forecast has partly sunny weather, with a high of 15 degrees and a low of 6 degrees.
Right guys, so I'm at home. Where have been all night. So I've just made myself a cup of Nescafe and coffee. Hello Max. Hello. Feeling a bit tired still. I've woken up. The reason I've got up early was because I'm expecting a Sainsbury's delivery. The Sainsbury's delivery is due between 7:32 a.m. and 8:32 a.m. Now I haven't got to take kids to school, so I'm waiting in for the delivery. I always use Sainsbury's because I find the food decent, and I find it less expensive than other supermarket brands at the moment. Even though the cost of living has gone up, everything's gone up. It has things like shampoo, washing powder, everything like that has gone up. Dog and cat food has gone up. It's extortionate. I at least expect my shopping to come to £10–15 more expensive than it normally does, because everything has gone up. Even the shops' own brands, newspapers have gone up, everything's gone up. And it's difficult, it is difficult to manage every day. And things seem to be coming in smaller packaging with less product in it, so your food and basics don't last as long as they normally did either, because they're making the packaging smaller and there's less stuff in the packaging. Right, so I'll be quite truthful. Yesterday I went up to my mum's at Durrell Gardens and I got a taxi. My mum got the taxi. My mum said I hadn't seen my mum for 2 weeks. I told her what had happened to the phone, and I hadn't seen anybody for 2 weeks. Nobody. So I felt isolated, lonely, a bit miserable at times. So I was round the field walking Max yesterday morning, and this phone is terrible. It's a basic phone. It's really basic, and I can't really do much with it, and I find it difficult to hear, and phones do hurt my face, so I was testing this basic phone out. So I rang my mum on the field whilst I was walking Max, and she suggested I went up there yesterday. So I went up there yesterday. A taxi drew up outside around 11:30ish, and it was one of the taxi drivers I'd had before, and inside the taxi it smelled of garlic, and dogs have a good sense of smell, and Max, and all the windows were shut, and all I could smell was a strong smell of garlic. Now I could have asked the driver to open the window, but I put a face mask on instead. So I got into the taxi with a face mask. It absolutely stank of garlic. I got out at Durrell Gardens and went into my mum's flat, sat near where my dad used to sit, and I hadn't been up there for 2 weeks, and it brought tears to my eyes. It just did. Felt strange and weird. Sat talked to my mum, put the telly on eventually, put the news on, and I like 4 in a bed, so later on we watched 4 in a bed. Mum had got some curry meal in the fridge, rice and curry, but I had a takeaway from Sandus in Gillingham, Sandhus, Sandus. I find their takeaways very nice. They're tasty, they appear appealing, the packaging is clean, and the chips are gorgeous, and they have some Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And my mum then told me that she'd had a takeaway previously that week, and she had a piece of fudge cake that she gave me from a takeaway that she'd had. So my mum had had a takeaway while I hadn't seen her in 2 weeks. My mum had had a takeaway, so she gave me the piece of fudge cake. She didn't feel like a takeaway, I expect, because she'd been having takeaways. But she did say that the takeaway was for me. So I had a quarter pounder and chips, some Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and they forgot the can of 7-Up, but that doesn't matter because I had a bottle of mineral water. Very tasty, very nice, and the driver was a regular one that speaks to my mum. He didn't speak to me. The takeaway driver from Sandus has never spoken to me. He spoke to my mum. My mum paid him, and later on Sue tried to come in, because I hadn't seen Sue for a while. Sue comes in regularly to see my mum, and Max wouldn't let Sue anywhere near me. Max kept barking because Sue and Barry have a dog, and he's a male dog, and Max can smell Sue, so Max kept barking and Sue couldn't come anywhere near me. So all I spoke to yesterday was my mum. Max wouldn't let Sue come anywhere near me. He kept barking, she just couldn't come anywhere near me. She was bringing round Morrison's food for my mum. But my mum has got me some cat food and dog food, which is very kind of her, because the cost of living has gone up, so that was kind of her. Max is getting very protective. He won't let anyone come near me, which is a pain in the backside, but there you are. So Mum, this is what my mum gave me yesterday. Classic Terrine Caesar dog food. And I hadn't been there for 2 weeks, so Mum had got some, she had 2 or 3 boxes of this Felix cat food, which helps. Mum also gave me a loaf of bread. It's not denying the fact that when you're completely on your own, you can feel cut off and isolated from the world. And when I went in the cart the other day, and Kim just didn't really speak to me at all, like I wasn't there, it gets a bit, it's not depressed, I wouldn't say it was depressing, you start to wonder, why have I got to be alone all my life? Why can't I find someone of a similar nature that I can just walk about with? Why have I got to be on my own 24/7. I mean, it doesn't hurt just to walk down the road with somebody, surely. So my mum at least gave me some conversation yesterday. I don't even mind if I'm moaned and shouted at least I get someone speaks to me for goodness sake. Yes, I'm waiting for a Sainsbury's delivery. I took Max up obviously yesterday in the taxi because I worry about leaving him behind. I didn't go out to the shops in Chatham. I stayed indoors with my mum. I did see Karen, Mum's neighbour, and I did speak to people yesterday. Quickly just nip outside. Right. It's a bit nippy out there. Right, so I left my mum's around 6 o'clock last night. I stayed round there quite a long time. I stayed round there till 6. Taxi driver came out and he was actually, didn't speak very much, but he did open the boot of the car so I could put my bags into the back. So I think, I've got to realise that people are different. Some people are quiet and reserved, and people are still worried about COVID, and I've got to stop taking things too personally to heart that, when you're isolated and you don't mix with people very much and you don't see people, you sort of, I'm not saying it's paranoia, but you think everything's against you. You think nobody wants to speak to you or anything, so I've got to start taking a different approach and an attitude. So I'm just going to get ready, get some bags and that to put my Sainsbury's shopping in for the delivery guy. See you later.